The stallion Tiarnan Loughran joins me today ahead of his Levels Fight League appearance, pro debut against Ivan Sukhohuzov. Next Sunday, about a week out now, Tiarnan. April 21st is when you're making the pro debut.
Yeah.
A little bit of a stop start, kind of to your pro debut. You know you're supposed to be out on the regional scene maybe once or twice. No cage conflict. You're supposed to be on that. There was talks maybe of you getting on UR as well. Unfortunately, that didn't work out for you. What was the kind of you were on with us on the Owl Triangle there ahead of those fights, kind of, and they didn't really work out. So what kind of happened there? Just a bit of bad luck, was it?
Hey, a bit of bad luck. I don't even know. Cage conflict. The fight got pulled on the Wednesday. Your mom, I don't believe it for 1 second. Your mom got pulled at the airport, or so they said. I didn't believe it for 1 second. Like, I just think your mom didn't fancy it. But sorry. And then and then there was talks of IUR. I actually forgot that IUR was on the following Sunday, I think, or maybe 2 weeks after. And Daki tried his absolute best to get me somebody, but it was just too short a notice. He couldn't get somebody. But hey, I'm always a big believer in Ian that everything happens for a reason, especially in this sport. There's too many things that happen, and if that hadn't happened, I don't think we would have signed with LFL. I don't think that was ever really the plan. But after that happened, then that we agreed the 3-fight deal with them. So I'm happy enough. I'm happy enough. Like,
Yeah, 100%. It must have been a little bit frustrating at the time when you were leading up to it anyway, and not getting the chance to perform is always frustrating. Have you been just kind of keeping yourself ticking over since those kind of fight announcements and staying in the gym, just staying working, waiting for an opportunity to pop up? Because this fight, I don't know, you announced it a couple of weeks back now, I think, but it kind of came together fairly quickly. How did it end up that LFL reached out to you and we got the contract signed?
how did it end up? I can't remember if we went to them or they came to me. You know what? It actually came through Keelan. Because Keelan fought in LFL. He
Yeah.
fought your man Hussein that way. And then he obviously had a wee bit of a, I don't know, relationship or whatever with him. And I think Keelan put up a thing with me going pro. And now who does LFL matchmaking actually said to Keelan, "Oh, we would love to have him on our show." And then I think I said this to maybe like Pat or Liam. And then after the fight fell through on Cage Conflict, then I'm actually not too sure if they came to us or we came to them. I'm not 100% sure, but I was signed a 3-fight deal anyway. 3-fight deal over the course of 12 months, I think it is. So I'm happy. Like, I think it's absolutely perfect that they said they're going to put time into matchmaking me. They're keen to build me and everything. I just think it's absolutely perfect. There's a chance to fly away, which is just an unbelievable experience. Um, so no, that was kind of it. It was kind of maybe like a mutual agreement, kind of. I suppose you'd call it. I don't know.
Yeah, like it's been a while since you've been away. I know you were talking with us on the Owl Triangle the last time we were chatting here, and you were saying, you had your pat and you wanted your pat to be, a couple of fights on the regional scene before maybe making a move like this. Now, the move has come a little bit sooner. Like you said, things work out perfectly, really, in the end. But do you feel that there's a little bit of a problem in the regional scene in Ireland with getting matchups really to kind of secure? Like, I mean, Cage Conflict, I think, are setting the standards and putting on professional fights, to be honest. But it's very difficult, obviously, for the other shows to do it as well, insurance things as well. But with your, the way you wanted to go, you were matched up at Cage Conflict, didn't work out, couldn't get anyone for fighting championships. Do you feel like coming into professional ranks for you, it was a little bit frustrating to try and get matched ups and go down the original route that you were going to go down?
You know what it was? I always knew what to expect. Like, I've seen boys who are coming through the pro scene, and the first year as a professional MMA fighter is an absolute. Well, it can be an absolute nightmare if you're not signed to a show. Like, if your plan is to just go from show to show and them to get you matched, like, it's very, very hard because you're trying to get stylistically the right matchup. You're trying to. Nobody wants to take a loss in their first 4 fights as a pro, and nobody wants to take a loss ever as a pro, but especially not at my stage. So you're trying to get shows who are going to do you a favor and build you, and but you also don't really want to sign with them. So, like, it's very, very hard to get, and you're flying these boys in from, say, Italy or France who have not no goals in the sport, but like maybe I don't know, they're just coming for a payday or just coming for nearly the crack or whatever. But now that I'm signed to LFL, I know what their plan is, and I know that they're going to invest time into me. So I think it's definitely the right move. Like,
Yeah, 100%. Like, and I mean, your brother Kalen, he would have had a similar enough problem, and he was getting going into professional ranks as well, and in trying to find opponents. And there was a little bit of criticism, like saying that the level of competition wasn't great. But as he said, and he always maintained, it was like that. You got to fight who's put in front of you and who's willing to fight. You just wanted to compete, and I'm sure you're the same here with LFL. But I don't think there's going to be too much of a problem. I think what you've secured for yourself with LFL is that maybe level of security of knowing that you're going to have a date, you're going to have a fight, and you would hope that there'd be no fallouts or anything like that as well. Like, I mean, that must make you happy, and one of the reasons that you signed with them. When you're talking to LFL, when you're going there, are you telling them, I want this particular route, I want these particular challenges, or are you just happy to just sign with a promotion that will be putting on regular events and getting you matched up, with relative ease, I guess?
I will. As far as that goes, as far as fights and what I'm after, that would be completely down to Liam and Pat. And that would kind of be it. It would just be that they're gonna keep me active. But like, as far as going out and telling them what I want, I actually haven't even spoke to LFL. It would be Pat and Liam. So as far as that goes, it's down to them. Really, them boys know what they're at, so I'll let them work away, and whoever they put me down to fight, I'll be there, basically.
It must be good to have two lads like, Pat and Chando coming in there, and they can offer you help, and they can offer you advice, and they can guide you there, as they have been doing through the years with the likes of Reese and Joe, and now with Paul as well. Are they offering you any advice to kick off? What would they hope for you as an early professional to want to achieve in the early days when you're getting kicked off in your first maybe 5 fights as a professional? Is there a certain path that you and both Pat and Liam are looking to follow?
Well, we completely agreed with each other. I actually told Pat, not that it was like me telling him what I want to do at all, but I was like, I plan to take it slow. Like, I am in absolutely no rush to fight on, say, Cage Wars, or not necessarily Cage Wars, but no, I'm in absolutely no rush to the UFC. But like that, I'm 23 years old. I don't need to be anywhere near the UFC for at least 4 years, 4 years easily. So, and Pat and Liam completely agreed. So I think this year is just going to be basically a building year, building me as a pro, building my frame as a pro, getting better, and that's basically it. Like, just absolute no rush, no rush to do anything really.
Do you think that some fighters might be in too much of a rush to progress their careers and maybe, make the jump a little bit too soon, maybe to the big show, rather than, just getting that experience? I think, look, at your skill acquisition came a lot through your amateur career. You fought a lot of amateur fights, you fought high level competition, and you gained your skill set. Now it's maybe more so about building your experience in the professional ranks, and not just getting to the big show, but getting to the big show and staying in the big show when you get there as well. And sometimes if you go there too soon, it doesn't always work out that way for certain fighters. You feel that that's important for your career progression?
Absolutely. Like, these boys are like, the Cage Wars is like, it's a top level, but you want to be going to Cage Wars, and you need to be doing what all the lads are doing, Keelan, Paul, and Reese and all, to get to be ready for the UFC. If you know what I mean. Like, that's exactly it. I don't want to get to the UFC and not be ready. If you know what I mean, you nearly want to be 2 steps ahead. I think, like, when you get to the UFC, not that you're ready to beat the champion, but you deserve to be there completely. So that's why I'm in no rush, because I know rightly, like, fuck me, I know rightly, when I'm 25, like, you look at all these champions in the UFC, like, you don't need to do it then. You can wait till you're 28, 29, I think, anyway, and keep building that experience.
Yeah, 100%. It's a very smart way of thinking. And, you're mentioning the UFC there. Your gym mate, Paul Hughes, is a free agent right now, and there's talks of him going here, there, and everywhere. For you, what you want is UFC. You've said that since we were chatting a couple of times when you're an amateur as well. You've always said that you're maintaining that right now, even in the current landscape. You want the UFC. You want to kind of follow in the footsteps of your brother, Kaelan, as well, I assume.
100%. Like, I was like, even backstage the other day, I was like, it was the best experience ever. Like, I was backstage for Keelan's fight at Atlantic City, and like, just seeing how everything works, like seeing, like, I met Gilbert Burns, met Chris Weidman, met Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. It was just like, just being around those names. I was thinking, I would love to be competing with, not compete with them boys, but like, just to be part of it. So no, the goal will never change for me. The goal is the UFC, and that's it. But like, I don't blame anyone for wanting to go anywhere else. Like, the game is changing, but like, that's my goal. Anyway, the goal is 100% the UFC for me.
100%. You said things happen for a reason, and the timing of this fight and getting signed and everything was absolutely perfect. And that was a question I was going to ask you, because you got the experience to be with Kaelan at UFC Atlantic City, get a look behind the scenes, watching him get the win, obviously, as well, and you know, celebrating after the fact too, I would assume. But that must put real fire in the belly, Tiarnan, you know, to get a little bit of a taste and experience of that, and then bringing in that little bit of hunger and that fire into your first professional fight now as well in a week's time.
Oh, 100%. Hey, there'd be something badly wrong with me if it didn't. Like, just even just being about the UFC, like, even when Keelan's win was unreal, absolutely class, but like, the atmosphere in that place when Weidman walked out, Chris Weidman walked out, I was thinking, fuck me, boys, like, that is stuff you dream of, like, just to be that guy. So I left Atlantic City more motivated than ever. Got deadly training over there. It was a great trip now. But I left as motivated as ever, 100%.
Now, I hope people aren't tuning in today thinking that I'm speaking with Kaelan again. I know I had him on a bit last week, because I know there's a few people over in Atlantic City. You were stepping in there as a. What was the deal with that? That was so funny. I know Andy tweeted it out as well. So did people think you were Kaelan walking along and everything like that, looking for pictures and stuff? You're getting a taste of maybe the future for yourself as well.
So I was standing at the bottom of the steps. So there was like a wee. Well, there was the stairs and all down in the UFC room, and then about 100 people at the top of the steps. And this boy came down, and he says, "Can I get a photo?" And I didn't think anything of it. I was like, "Fuck, that's a bit weird." He was from Malaysia, but then this line started to come, like a big, massive line of people, and I goes, "Oh my god, he thinks I'm Keelan." And I shouted, it was my sister video, and I shouted to Alicia, start videoing. And I swear to God, I had about 10 or 12 people waiting on a line for me to get a photo. So I just went with it, fuck it.
That is so funny. That is hilarious. I done some laughing when I seen that. But you're back home, obviously back to the gym. What's been the focus for you heading into this fight, Tiarnan? Just you must have the bit between your teeth, just looking to go out there and perform. You, like I said, you've probably been preparing and in the gym for quite some time now in preparation of this debut. What's the focus and what has been the goal of this kind of camp for you before this fight?
Just improving the skill base. Like, as far as Ivan goes, he's a southpaw. He's quite wild. I've only actually watched one fight of him, and he came out like an absolute madman. And he got absolutely wrecked and got took out in about, I think he finished about 2 minutes. The guy was just a lot more experienced, and he ended up losing. But as far as preparing for the opponent, I'll be honest, there hasn't been that much. Like, we've been doing obviously a few drills of southpaw, but I fought a lot of southpaws in the amateurs, so I'm kind of not all good there. But I know what I'm dealing with. It's kind of just been focusing on me, just improving the skill set everywhere. Every fight camp is really the same. Just trying to focus more on myself. And it's been the same this time. I'm getting better every week in Fight Academy, and the level in our mat at the minute, I think everyone knows, is absolutely quality. Like, so, no, it's been a good camp, and I'm definitely ready to go for next week now.
You're like, you're reading my mind today. You're going everywhere where I'm going as well. I was going to ask you about the atmosphere in the gym currently. Obviously, when you have a big star like Paul Hughes in the gym and all the buzz around him, but lots of other up and coming fighters there, especially a lot of flyweights coming out of FAI, but abundance of talent there. You know, like Jordan O'Neill getting ready to compete as well pretty soon. Hopefully, it was unfortunate his fight fell through. Who's giving you the hardest rounds currently in FAI right now, Tiarnan? Like, I mean, the level of work that you can get there and sparring that you can get in there right now is insanely high. And there's going to be, you know, along with yourself, I know a lot of guys that are going to be bursting onto the professional scenes in the next year or two from FAI as well. And, you know, if you want to call it the next wave of talent coming out of that gym for sure. I mean, it must be very, very exciting to be in a gym like FAI and getting the chance to kind of work with all of these guys who are coming up and hungry as well, the same as yourself.
Definitely. Who's giving me the hardest rounds? I'm not going to name anyone. Like, obviously, you've got your guys like Paul, and then around my weight, Paul, Matthew Elliott, Scott Harvey, James Slavin in the gym, absolutely flying. That's around my weight. But as you said, the flyweight, like this guy I'm fighting, I think his first fight was at lightweight. But how he even made lightweight, I'm not sure. So like I always like to spar guys stylistically similar. So like he's a southpaw, and if I actually think he's a bantamweight. I've never made a lightweight. I actually think he's a bantamweight. So I've been doing rounds with like the flyweight you said, the likes of Owen Masoliver. That's one of the young lads to look out for. All them young lads, Owen Masoliver. I don't want to miss anyone out, but Damien McGuigan, Michael Shields, all them young lads, like you said, and then Jared Burns. I've been spawning with a lot of them boys for this one.
Yeah.
All quality rounds. So who's giving me the hardest rounds? I don't know, but I'm definitely
bit of an awkward question on my behalf, to be honest. I don't want to get you in trouble with any of the boys. They'll be coming in after you the next time if you don't name one of the guys. But
that's it. You know what it is when I hear that one, like I don't know, say it at the gym on, like, who's your hardest round? I know I'd be fucking, my eyes be going, I'm like, I hope he says me. So they're all hard rounds. You don't get an easy round fight, Academy.
100%. How are you feeling? Featherweight is the way forward for you. I know that you were kind of up and down. You had a few lightweight fights at amateur as well, but you're feeling good at featherweight right now, and that's the path you kind of want to forge over the next 3 fights with LFL. Is that correct?
100%. I can make featherweight, not easily, don't get me wrong, but I can make it. I am a featherweight. I'm not a lightweight for now anyway. I've actually brought a nutritionist on for this week. Yannick McGee, Yannick McGee, he's going to help me
Yannick,
out.
Yeah.
I know, I've heard Yannick was doing my reload for me, but I never took him on for a camp per se. So Yannick's helped me out this week, helped me in reload. So I feel like as a pro, you have to do these things. Like if you're now, obviously you're getting a wee bit of money for fighting, you're getting paid. So invest the money into yourself. You're going to have this for the whole of your career. So, I just few of them things have been different, but I've been doing everything pretty similar. Like as far as going pro, like I know the amateurs 3-minute rounds, but I've been doing 5-minute rounds and stuff since I was 18 years old in Carbon. When I was over there, we only done 5s. We actually never done 3s. Fight Academy Ireland, we only ever do 5s. So as far as all that stuff goes, I think the pro game's going to suit me. I think it'll be. I'll fit right in like a big round.
You'll be able to unleash a few elbows as well.
Fucking right. I've been letting the elbows go. Like just in the amateurs, like my thing is like top game pressure. So like when I'm passing, I'll heavy shoulder pressure, stuff like that. I don't like letting a lot of space. But now that I've got my elbows, you don't have to let a lot of space to give a shot. Whereas the amateurs, you had to get right off, get a shot off. And then I was always scared of guys getting up. But now I've been drilling. I was like mad, grappling even more with Pat McAllister and stuff. So I'll get showing all that stuff.
Oh, absolutely. Like I said, we're about a week away now. You'll be when are you heading over to Amsterdam? Actually, are you going over midweek or when does that happen? What's the plans ahead of the fight?
It's a wee bit like it's not against LFL, but it's a wee bit tight. Like I'm getting there on the Friday night. I think I land in Amsterdam at like 10:15 the Friday night. The weigh-in's the next morning at 10 a.m. So I need to figure all that out. I'll need to work out what I'm doing. But as far as the cut goes, I'll hopefully just have it all to do. All the next morning. Have and then they booked me home again for the Monday. But I think I'll
Oh,
book it.
gee, the quick spin. You won't be able to get yourself in trouble over there then, eh?
Exactly. There's so much stuff to see. So I think I'll change it. I think I'll go home at least on the Tuesday. Fucking enjoy myself. But why would I be? Why would you be in a rush back? Spend enough time.
Absolutely. Quick flight back, and you'll be no bother. It's only probably about an hour away anyway, so it's not too bad anyway, isn't it? No?
Aye, couple hours. I think it's not too bad. Not too bad.
Yeah, not too bad. Look at when you're visualizing the fight. I know you've only got to see a small bit of Ivan coming in here. How do you visualize the fight going in your head, and what can fans expect to see when they tune in? I believe this fight will be on UFC Fight Pass and be on obviously Sunday, April 21st as well. So people will be easily able to tune in if they have Fight Pass to watch the fight. Is that correct?
I think so. I'm almost sure, but then when I'm looking at my poster, like I was sure they signed a Fight Pass, but then when I look at my poster, it says some other website. I'm not sure, so I'll not say for certain, but I thought it was on Fight Pass. If it's not on Fight Pass, I know is it called AirPlay or something
It's
like
on
that?
Viaplay. I'm actually looking at it here now. They're saying it's live on Viaplay. So yeah, we'll slap up. I'll do a little bit more digging into that, and we'll slap it up. I know they did have a couple of fights, I think, on Fight Pass in the past, but nonetheless. But whatever. Anyway, whether it's on Fight Pass, whether it's on Viaplay, if anyone is tuning in here, and tell them what they can expect for your professional debut.
Tune in, boys. I feel. Hey, Ivan is coming for a scrap. If anyone watched this man's last fight, he is not wise. So the plan is to meet him in the middle. I don't know. Maybe let him. I don't know. Maybe let him tire himself out, and then and take him out. Go 1-0 as a pro, and get my name on the scene. That's the plan, anyway.
How would you like to take him out? Submission, KO? What are you thinking right now, or whatever comes your direction? I guess on the night.
A nice elbow. We've been drilling a lot of elbows, but hey, I'll not force anything. Whatever comes, maybe a head kick, something nice.
Love it. So you want to rack off these 3 fights relatively quickly too, I'd assume. How do you kind of foresee the rest of the year going for you, Tiarnan?
Well, it's a 3-fight deal with LFL, so I'd assume I'll have 3 fights on there. So that's the plan. Hey, as far as the LFL division goes, I wouldn't have a clue like who they'll give me. I'll leave it down to them. I'll leave it to Pat and Liam. And that's it. I'll keep building. I'll be building in the gym, maybe getting harder rounds, not harder rounds in the gym, but I'll be getting the hardest rounds that I possibly can. Go 3-0 as a pro this year. That's the plan. And I keep getting better.
Absolutely. Well, I'm looking forward to tuning in next weekend, April 21st. Levels Fight League number 12. Ivan Sukhohuzov is the guy that will be facing off with Tiarnan Loughran. I think I nailed that name twice, and I'm not going to say it too much. It's a tough last name that he's got, isn't it?
I think you've got it. Hey. I think you're close. You're close enough. You're close
enough. Anyway,
we'll call him Ivan.
Call him Ivan. That's it. Nice.
Right,
Tiarnan Loughran versus Ivan. Levels Fight League 12, April 21st. That's on next Sunday. You can tune in on Viaplay, as they said here. We'll post the link. We'll get everybody aware where you can take in that fight as well. Tiarnan, thanks so much for taking the time to speak with me.
What about 380? And which fight are you looking forward to the most?
300 tonight. Well, it'll probably come out. This will come out probably a little bit after, but we'll talk about it anyway. I think Alex Bahia in the main event is going to be tough to beat, I think, when you have Jamal Hill coming back after such a bad injury. Like, I mean, his Achilles was gone not so long ago, and you're coming in against against one of the best calf kickers in the sport right now. So I called it on the preview show this week as a recipe for disaster in the main event. And I mean, what do you think about that main event?
I'm not 100% sure. I know a lot of people are picking Pereira, but Hill hits very hard, and he's technically. I know Sean Sheehan, he was always massive on him, wasn't he?
Sean said he was going to be champion from the very early days as well, and you're not wrong. He does hit hard, but man, I think Pereira with those leg kicks, like, I mean, when you look at that Yuri Prochazka fight, man, the first real leg kick he committed on, he took Yuri Prochazka off his feet, and it only takes one. And I don't know. I'm not disagreeing with what you're saying either. I think Hill does hit hard, and he's going to have to, be careful when he's moving inside to get in those shots, though, man. I think, and he's very, very wild and open to a left hook. So I think Bahia by KO is a good bet for that one. What do you think for the ones that I'm really stuck on? Not so much this one, but Gaethje and Holloway. How do you think that goes? We'll see now. This will be out after, so we'll see how good your predictions are after. It'll be all said and done.
What do you hear this, lad? I swear to God, I'm not gonna say I'm the best, but I actually do like not tips. I don't do tips, but I am pretty good at betting on the UFC. Like, but you should be. Maybe you should be alright. But not that I do much betting, but as far as predictions, my win rate actually at the minute is actually not too bad. Gaethje and Holloway, all week I wasn't giving Holloway much of a chance, but the closer it comes to it, I'm thinking just because Gaethje's probably not going to take him down, like, is he?
No. I think with Holloway, I think Holloway has to go in there and frustrate him. He has to kind of stick and move, not get too close, stay away from the leg kicks. I think he's going to have to go through about 1 or 2 rounds of hell, but if he's still there, and I think he has enough to get the job done in rounds 3, 4, and 5. So, like, I wouldn't be completely ruling Holloway out, but I mean, when it comes to devastating power, Gaethje has the clear advantage there, and he could catch him, but Max isn't easy to put away, and I think Max has a little bit of fire in his belly too coming into this one, doesn't he?
So, something definitely not something to prove, but something like different to aim towards in the lightweight division.
Yeah, more motivation like coming in here, like
definitely. But then a thing to take, like when Poirier and Holloway fought, I think it was Ivan to see not every shot, but when Poirier caught him clean, there was a clear difference in the power. So I feel like that'll probably happen again tonight. I don't know. It's gonna be some fight, but I probably would just lean towards Gaethje. But like, you just don't know. Like, if say Holloway, say the one that showed up against Cater, if 80% of that Holloway shows up, I would say he gets it done. But it's some fight. Even the first fight of the night, though, Garbrandt and Figueiredo, I can't wait for that.
Oh my God, yeah, it's insane. It's insane card, and no, I'm really, really looking forward to it. You don't get too many nights like this now, and they've really delivered on this one. I'll ask you one more before we finish up. Oliveira versus Saryukin. What do you think about that one?
Unbelievable fight. Probably Saryukin, like, but Oliveira is actually stylistically a terrible matchup for him. Like, as far as it goes in the feet, as far as it goes in the feet, will Saryukin beat him? I'm not sure. And if they hit the ground, Charles Oliveira, he's as dangerous as it gets in the history of the sport. So, like, I'm actually not sure. Every fight now that this is my first time doing it. I watch all of them. Like, when you do your prediction videos, all of them. I love that. So I've always pictured myself being here. Now I'm freezing on the spot. But if I was to pick somebody, I probably would aim towards Saryukin. He's got the youth. I would probably aim towards Saryukin, probably by decision. A mix in wrestling, maybe avoid the early submission threats.
Yeah, I think it's going to go to. It's going to probably come down to the scramble game, I think, and how, because I know Saryukin scrambles very well. He did very well against Islam Makhachev in his debut, but Charles Oliveira is so cute in those scramble positions, and he could find himself in back control. If he gets Saryukin's back, locks in a body triangle, he can stay there and doing damage and go for submissions and take rounds as well. But it's interesting. I mean, we'll have to have you on a preview show sometime to share your thoughts on it. We'll give you a notice and
anything. But see, like when you said about Oliveira, like the scrambling, like someone like Charles Oliveira is my absolute worst nightmare to hold down. Like, see that guy that threatens your legs and does all that. So
you don't have any respite when you're there. Like with Charles, you always have to be on. Like, and I mean, like, it doesn't have to be a mistake that lead to submission, but it could be a mistake from Saryukin that could lead to a Charles scrambling to the back or scrambling into a mount position, and then he has the ability to control back position like no other, I don't think, in the UFC. The same as what he did to Tony Ferguson. That's the way I would be looking at it as well. But even on the feet, he's got some power. It's a great fight. I could talk the hind legs off of this card. It's unreal. But
all day I could talk about it.
Like I said, thanks very much for sharing your thoughts on the card. We'll see if you're right now. Everyone can judge your opinions and your thoughts after the event when this comes out. And I want to say thanks very much. All the best to you in your debut.
Yes.
Levels Fight League, April 21st. Thanks a million, Tiarnan. We'll talk to you the next time, and best of luck on your debut, my man.
Yes, thank you, Ian. Thank you for having me.
No problem. Anytime, bud.